Hi everybody, Coach Carey here, and today's daily log on Carb Manager is going to be interesting because I'm just showing you my screen right here, and I had a birthday to celebrate with my father-in-law yesterday, and it was totally out of the norm for me because we went for breakfast in the morning to a restaurant, and I had to pre-select the food I was going to eat, and I actually did really good with that, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But then and I did great during the day, but later in the day I struggled because we had some pasta, which I generally don't eat for dinner, so I had a small portion. But then after that, I was really hungry. And so I found myself eating some food at night, some ham and cheese and some other snacks. And I was like, this isn't good, because it was later in the evening, around 9 or 9:30, and my fast should start at 7 p.m. So it was an out of the ordinary day. And when I got into the clinic this morning and I stepped on the scale, I was really surprised because my weight was at 205.8, which I expected it to be a lot higher, around 208 or 209, even 210. So the good news is the trend continues. I had that low mark here at 203 after I went for a run on the 28th. But definitely this is trending in the right direction. And if you just take this line and kind of extrapolate it down, from my starting point, or the start of the trend line, 210 anyway, and down to 205, that's 5 pounds in about 2 weeks. So if this trend continues, it's going to be really good, because I've got about 13 pounds to go, and that would take me about a month and a half, right? But that's a pretty aggressive trend line. We'll just see how it goes, and I'm going to have to make some tweaks as I go along to what I'm doing. So let's just take a look at yesterday. And here are my values and what happened yesterday. Now, the first thing is I like to look at the consume values, just the overall big picture. And for consume, 56 grams of protein, 132 grams of protein, 139 fat, 2,500 calories. These are protein is getting better as the days go on, because I keep working on my shakes and the foods I'm eating. The fat, I'd like that to come down a bit or switch over to monounsaturated fats. So I have been adding olive oil into my foods or into my smoothies, more fish, that type of thing. I do have some fish oil that I should probably open and use as a supplement, and use like maybe 1 teaspoon. That would help me too. So I will look into that in the coming days. Calories, 2,500, which is a lot more than I usually have, 610 over. Net carbs, 148, 53 over, which is on the high end for me, for sure. One of the higher numbers that I've had since I started. Fiber, 30. That's really good. I want to continue to have about 30. So let's also take a look at the net values here. And so the net values were better, and you can see the rings, the red right here, too much. So this is the first time I've had a full red ring like that. So that's what the net values. And then if I look at my net calories, which was yesterday, 1680 after exercise, and I'm allowed 1890. So that's still okay. And it's only because of the exercise that saved me. So for breakfast, when we met my father-in-law at 10 a.m. approximately, I had picked out an egg. I had a half of a breakfast. So I had 1 egg. I had some ketchup with that. I had some fries instead of hash browns. And the only reason is I like fries, and I could count how many I ate. So I ate 10, and rather than hash browns where I couldn't weigh it at the restaurant. And then I had some ham too, some back bacon. So let's just enter that into this section, because maybe it got put in the wrong spot. But Canadian bacon right there, breakfast. Okay, good. So that's how you enter foods, really easy. For lunch, I had coleslaw. This is the late night meal. Okay, I'll get back to this one, because I had no more room or no more space to put it in. So I put it in at lunch, because instead of lunch, I put in snacks here. So let's go to snacks. So I had this new smoothie cube that I picked up at the health food store. So a quarter of a package of this cube that kind of is natural, but it'll make the smoothie taste better. It does have some net carbs, but in general, it's just more for flavor and some nutrients that I got it. So it did help my smoothie. It did taste pretty good. The flax has made the biggest difference this week. And I finally got the right numbers for that, because whoever entered it on Carb Manager did not enter the flax properly. So I found an updated version of it, and I re-entered the flax. So now this is accurate. A lot of omega-3 fatty acids and fiber. So it's really good. Been eating the pumpkin protein, 1 big scoop in my shakes, and then almond milk, organic, unsweetened vanilla as my base. So that's kind of my basic smoothie right there, and that's been working really good. Sometimes I'll have that once or twice in a day. And that's kind of boosting my protein numbers up and my fiber numbers. Another snack I had later in the day at 4 o'clock was I had some blue cheese with some chicken breast, which was in the leftover lunch that I had the day before. So I cut the lunch in half. It was takeout. And I had this Thai chicken curry the next day. I cut back on my rice because the day before I had 75 grams, which was too many net carbs. I had, there was some veggies in there. I just found this entry, which almost all the veggies are kind of the same. If you look at them, their entries. Trader Joe's Thai yellow curry sauce was the closest thing I could find to the takeout. It had 2 ounces of pineapple, 2 big chunks in there. Macadamia nuts, I added that to the mixture, and some almonds. So that was a heavier snack, but I was trying to do that so I wouldn't eat too much pasta at dinner. So that was around 4, and I ended up going home around 6:30 to have dinner. So, and then for a treat, I had some chocolate right here. I picked up the Lily's Crispy Rice Dark Chocolate. I really like this brand. And I also like their 2 or 3 dark or extra dark chocolate variations because they have a lot of fiber in them. So it stands out above the other bars that I can choose from. Then let's go to dinner. Dinner was next at 7:49, and I had spaghetti. I had spaghetti sauce with meat, and I tried to limit those portions, which I did a pretty good job of, but you can see spaghetti, 21.8 net carbs, that's a lot. And then even like the rhubarb pie, I had a small slice and 20.5 net carbs, some ice cream, half a cup, and I had coffee with some cream for dessert. So that wasn't enough for me because later I got hungry. So a couple hours later, I found myself really craving some food. And sometimes I can just drink water and get by, which most of the time that happens, but this time I had to have something to eat. So around 9:52, I had some coleslaw with some baked ham and Philly cream cheese. That's okay as a snack if it would have been earlier in the day, so on a normal day. I had some piece of cheese as well. I had some dark cherries with some cream. I ran out of heavy cream, so I had to go with half and half, which has a little bit more net carb, and then I had 2 tablespoons of gelato. So not the worst, but not the greatest either. This would have been okay on a normal day within my eating period. That's the way that went. And then my waters, I had 2, 4, 6, 8, 16 cups of water. And then I'm done logging, so that's good. No confetti today because I think I broke my streak for net carbs. That's right. So I have to restart my streak. Not the biggest worry. And it's a good example of you don't want to kind of get down on yourself if you kind of screw up on 1 or 2 days, because as long as it's not a trend and you go back to what's been working, which I will today, it should continue to produce results. And what I want to get down to is that 192 mark, but I'm also doing strengthening and core and all that to define my muscles, because as the fat comes off, I want the musculature to come through. And so I'm also writing a book about it. I did write a book 2 years ago called The 100-Day Diet, but this time around I'm writing a book. I'm trying to decide on the title, but I do have the chapters and some material already done, like a first draft. And it's about taking things to the next level, like losing some more weight and getting in even better shape. So follow me here on YouTube, social media, as I go through these days live with you. And then the book, I'm hoping it'll be done in late September, October, and then I can share the pre-orders with you at that time. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll talk to you guys soon.